Hello there. Today we are going to talk about my past, present, and future of books. What I've been reading, what I'm currently reading, and what I'm going to get into. So let's get into it right now. The most recent book that I read was called The Vulnerables, and that was by Sigrid Nunez. And this book, I don't quite know how to describe it. It's fiction, but also feels like on the edge of nonfiction because it really feels like a stream of consciousness from the writer, who's just like telling you her thoughts and feelings. It's vivid, it's eloquently written. It takes place during the pandemic and just like the thoughts and emotions that they were feeling at the time, and ending up spending and sharing time in this space with this parrot and also with this other younger guy who had been at odds with his parents, and just how they interact in the space that they have to share during the pandemic. There's thoughts on writing and books. There's thoughts on just existence and living. And it was such a lovely and just kind of very interesting and fascinating book. I read a lot of horror, so when I'm reading something like that, it takes my mind in a different direction. And it, even though it had like kind of heavier themes, it was also lighter in ways. The beauty of it and also the sadness was quite the experience, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. So currently, I'm in the middle of the book, The Reformatory. I'm not in the middle of it. Why did I say the middle? I'm literally like 40 pages in. That's not in the middle because this book is very large, and that is by Tananarive Due. And it follows the story of this boy named Robbie Stevens Jr., and he is 12, and his sister Gloria. And this is in the 1950s, and it's in Florida when Jim Crow laws were still going on. A lot of heightened racism and stuff still very prominent, especially in the South. Basically defending his sister's honor, he kicks this son of this man who like owns half the town, who the son of the man is a white guy and he's a little black boy. And so he ends up getting in big trouble and has to go and do 6 months at this school called the Reformatory. Well, the Reformatory is a place where it seems like people don't always leave alive. And there's also haints, which are ghosts. Robbie sees these ghosts and haints, and I'm not very far in. I'm at the point where he just got to the Reformatory, and it seems like it's going to be a really horrible experience for him. And I feel like this is a story that's going to punch me in the gut. I've heard such good things about this book. It's been highly recommended by several people that I follow on social media, and Mother Horror recommended it and said it was one of the best books she's read all year. So if Mother Horror recommends it, I like to definitely check out the ones that she has like high accolades for, because she has fantastic taste and it's amazing. So that's what I've gotten into recently. Okay, so I got like 4 books the other day. Barnes & Noble was having their hardcover sale where everything was 33% off. And of course I only ended up getting 1 hardcover, because why would I end up buying the stuff on sale? I don't know. I just didn't see anything I really wanted. But I ended up getting 4 books, and we're going to tell you what I got. The first one is Nosferatu by Joe Hill. And honestly, I probably won't read this till next year around the holiday season. But I had wanted to get this one, and I didn't get a chance to until now. So if you don't know what this is about, we're gonna have some story time with Sin, and then you'll know. Victoria, Vic McQueen, has an uncanny knack for finding things. When she rides her bicycle over the rickety bridge in the woods near her house, she always emerges in the places that she needs to be. Vic doesn't tell anyone about her unusual abilities. Carl's talent Manx has a gift of his own. He likes to take children for rides in his 1938 Rolls-Royce Wraith with the vanity plate Nosferatu. In the Wraith, he and his innocent guests can slip out of the everyday world to an astonishing playground of amusements he calls Christmasland. Mile by mile, the journey across the highway of Charlie's twisted imagination transforms his precious passengers, leaving them as terrifying and unstoppable as their benefactor. Uh-oh. And then comes the day when Vic goes looking for trouble and finds her way, inevitably, to Charlie. Now, the only kid ever to escape Charlie's twisted imagination is all grown up and desperate to forget. But Charlie Manx hasn't stopped thinking about Vic McQueen. Oh no. On the road again, he won't slow down until he's taken his revenge. Yeah, Nosferatu, Joe Hill. What up? Alright, so the next one I got was Bunny by Mona Awad. I know most people have read this at this point in time. I haven't. I read Rouge first, which is the newest one by her, and it was so freaking weird and like dreamlike and just had that like David Lynchian vibe, which I loved. And I've heard this is like just off the walls, effed up, and weird as crap as well. So I wanted to read this and I've wanted to check this one out for a while. So we picked up Bunny by Mona Awad. Let's tell you about it. Let's tell you about the bunnies. Who are the bunnies? Scholarship student who prefers the company of her dark imagination to that of most people. Can't say I blame her. Samantha Heather Mackey is utterly repelled by the rest of her graduate fiction writing cohort at New England's elite Warren University. A clique of unbearably saccharine yet sinister rich girls who call each other Bunny and seem to move and speak as one. That's not creepy at all. But everything changes when Samantha receives an invitation to the Bunny's fabled smut salon and finds herself inexplicably drawn to their front door, ditching her only friend Ava in the process. As Samantha plunges deeper and deeper into the Bunny's world and begins to take part in their monstrous experiments, the edges of reality begin to blur. That's what I'm looking for in my book, right? The edges of reality blurring, because I like the weird. Give it to me. Soon, her friendships with Ava and the bunnies will be brought into a deadly collision. And yeah, I look forward to reading this weird book that everyone seems to have a very strong reaction to. All right. Okay, so the next one was a total impulse buy. It was on like the little horror table, and I liked the cover. And that is Her Little Flowers by Shannon Morgan. Give you some cover. All right, so this book seems like a haunted, like kind of gothic vibe to it. Francine Thwaite has lived all her 55 years in her family's ancestral home, a rambling Elizabethan manor in England's Lake District. No other living soul resides there, but Francine is not alone. There are ghosts in Thwaite Manor, harmless and familiar. Most beloved is Bree, the mischievous ghost girl who has been Francine's companion since childhood. When Francine's estranged sister Madeline returns to the manor after years away, she brings with her a story that threatens everything Francine has always believed. It is a tale of cruelty and desperation, of terror and unbearable heartache. And as Francine learns more about the darkness in her family's past and the role she may have played in it, she realizes that confronting the truth may mean losing what she holds dear. I do love a good haunted house story, and I like gothic horror, so looking forward to getting into this one very soon. So I did get one hardcover, and that is Alice Hoffman's Practical Magic, and it is a signed edition, and it was 33% off. I wish I would have got more hardcovers. Nothing was jumping out at me except for this one. And I love that it's gold. I don't have any gold books. Now I do. So this is, I mean, if you've ever seen the movie Practical Magic, that's what it's based off, this book. And let's tell you a little bit about this witchy and lovely book. For more than 200 years, the Owens women have been blamed for everything that has gone wrong in their Massachusetts town. Jillian and Sally have endured that fate as well. As children, the sisters were forever outsiders, taunted, talked about, and pointed at. Their elderly aunts almost seemed to encourage the whispers of witchery with their musty house and their exotic concoctions and their crowd of black cats. But all Jillian and Sally wanted to do was escape. One will do so by marrying, and the other by running away. But the bonds they share will bring them back, almost as if by magic. And we're gonna read this very, very soon. Does anyone else have any gold books? Like, I can't think of seeing that many before. I know like sometimes they'll have foil or like filigree on them, but never had a gold book before. I don't know why I think it's so cool. Book nerd stuff, I guess, you know, whatever. Yeah, pretty sure that's the only metallic book that I own. Now I need like a shiny silver book, but it has to be something I want to read. I can't just get it because of the cover. Or could I? I could. We'll see. Maybe I'll be on the hunt for a shiny silver book. Just cause. Anywho. So that is what I've been up to in my travels of bookish things. What have you guys been reading? Did anyone else go to the Barnes & Noble sale? Because I think that was like a US-wide thing for the hardcovers for 33% off. And did you guys actually get hardcovers? Unlike me, who only got one. Oh well, what can you do? Sometimes you find a bunch of stuff you want, and sometimes just I don't know. Just depends on the day, I guess. And it was crazy busy. The line, waiting in line at the sale, was like you're in line for a ride at Cedar Point. Also, if you're a fan of videos where I talk about multiple books that I have read or am reading, next video coming up will be about that, so stick around, check it out. And if you had fun hanging out today, hit that subscribe button, come back, see me again, and we'll talk about more bookish things and weird stuff.